Hello and welcome. This is Miss Tabassum. As you know that we have already started with Anindya Mukherjee's Across the Sahara on a bicycle. Anindya Mukherjee first visited Africa in 2005 when he climbed up the Mount Kilimanjaro. In 2012, he again set out on his journey on a bicycle and came across 5 countries, that is Kenya, Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia and Namibia. He covered a distance of 5,000 km within 69 days. Anindya Mukherjee was so much in love with the continent Africa that he again chose to explore the north and northwestern side across the Sahara in 2017. So he started a plan by searching out the best bicycle route for his ride. For his journey, he contributed his own savings and he also collected some money from his friends and through crowdfunding. On 27 February 2017, he started his ride across the Sahara from Guelmim, which is called as the gateway to the Sahara. He completed the stage 1 from 27 February to 3rd March. He reached Lyon on 3rd of March 2017. Now we will see the further part of the story.
Stage 2, Lyon to Dakhla, 5th to 9th March, 538 km, 5 days. Anindya Mukherjee's Stage 2 started from 5th March 2012 to 9th March 2012 and the route was Lyon to Dakhla. He covered 538 km in 5 days. It was already 4 March and my Morocco visa was due to expire on the 15th. I took a decision to cycle all the way to Bojdo, 190 km from Lyon. This would turn out to be my longest ride in a day. The wind that day became a friend. At checkposts, when I told the police my nationality, they asked about Shah Rukh Khan. I realized that apart from being Bollywood fans, the Moroccan police were also extremely kind. A short conversation, a little laughter, and sometimes a cup of tea at the police checkposts kept me in good humor. Anindya mentions that it was already 4th March 2017 and his Morocco visa was to be expired on the 15th March 2017. So he took a decision to cycle all the way to Bojdour, which was 190 km from Lyon. This turned out to be his longest ride in a day. The wind was blowing normally on that particular day. On asking at the checkposts, when Anindya told the police about his nationality, they asked him about Shah Rukh Khan. He realized that apart from being Bollywood fans, the Moroccan police were also very kind-hearted. In some places, he had short conversations with the police at the checkposts, and in some places, he was offered a cup of tea by them, which kept him in a good mood and helped him to ride across the Sahara in a comfortable way. The earlier ride to Tarfaya in a sandstorm, and the 190-kilometer ride to Bojdur gave me immense confidence to carry on. I reached Center Bir Anzane and met a gentleman called Mr. Mahfouz, who had been hosting cyclists for years. He invited me to join his family for food. In the conversation, he shared that I was the first Indian cyclist he had met. I reached Dakla in good time. Anindya's earlier ride to Tarfaya on 2nd March 2017 in a sandstorm and the 190-kilometer ride to Bojdur, which turned out to be his longest ride, gave him great confidence to carry out his journey. He reached Center Bir Anzarne, and there he met a gentleman called Mr. Mahfouz, who had been hosting cyclists for years. Mr. Mahfouz also invited Anindya to join his family for food. While having conversation, Mr. Mahfouz shared that Anindya was the first Indian cyclist he had ever met. Finally, Anindya reached Dhakla in a good time. Stage 3, Dhakla to Bo Lanur, 11 to 15 March, 432 km, 5 days. Stage 3 started from Dhakla to Bon Lanur. He started the journey of Stage 3 from 11th March to 15th March. The journey was of 5 days and he covered a distance of 432 km. On 14 March, I reached Guergrat, the border town of Western Sahara and Mauritania. That was also the last day of my Moroccan visa. I exited Morocco and Western Sahara. I had entered no man's land. No man's land is roughly a 4-kilometer stretch of desert between Morocco and Mauritania. It doesn't belong to either country and is notorious for its landmines. After a few kilometers of pushing my bike through no man's land, I arrived at the Mauritania border post and was immediately swarmed by money changers and SIM card sellers, a total contrast to the other side. Anindya reached Guergrat on 14th March 2017, which is the border town of Western Sahara and Mauritania. It was the last day of Anindya's Moroccan visa and thus he exited Morocco and Western Sahara and finally entered no man's land. No man's land is a stretch of 4-kilometer desert between Morocco and Mauritania. It is known as no man's land because it doesn't belong to either country and is well known for its landmines, that is, explosive devices placed on or under the ground. After a few kilometers of cycling through the no man's land, he finally arrived at the Mauritania border post and was quickly surrounded by money changers and SIM card sellers, which was a total contrast to the other side because the people here are too much materialistic, whereas on the other side, the people were very amiable and friendly towards him. Without wasting time, I started cycling towards Bo Lanur. My destination for the day was 65 km away. On the way, I watched the SNIM train, one of the longest trains in the world, carrying iron ore from deep inside the desert, passed by. As I cycled on, I could see the road signs warning people of landmines. Not the most comforting thought for a cyclist. Anindya started cycling towards Beau Lanois without wasting his time because his destination for the day was still 65 km away. On the way, he watched the SNIM train, which is a train operated by a government mining company, Societe Nationale Industrielle et Minière. It is a national mining and industrial company. This train is supposed to be one of the longest trains in the world, and it was carrying iron ore from the desert pass by. As Anindya was cycling across the Sahara, he could see road signs which warned people of landmines. And it was very depressing one for Anindya too because landmines can explode when a person or a vehicle touches it.